Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Brave Exodus video, and today we're going to be talking about, finally I can talk about it, finally, right? The magic variants. It's here. It's finally here. I just tested it. It's definitely here. There's no mistake about it. So Vivi is definitely the best one that I currently have. I believe that I can test out the formula on that. So as you can see here, this is not on the global version just yet, but as you can see here, this has a variance. Just like every other weapon that would have variance, and you can test it by checking out, looking at this. This has a typical smaller variance because this is one-handed weapon. So in the future, you'll not be using one-handed weapons anymore, which means this is almost not very useful. I mean, there are still true to old mages, which will love to have this. Speaking of, we're equipping that for the first part here. So Lightning's STMR has max TDH. Like range card, fine. Base form doesn't have anything except his TMR, just whatever. This is the form we're talking about here. So he has more magic with the Dark Vision Rod, but is it worth it when there's magic variants now? So that's what we're here to look at. Plus, before we get into that, plus there's another quality of life change that you guys know how area effect damage that affects all enemies and dark visions and whatnot, and it stops casting after that. After the enemy dies, that will no longer happen, guys. It was in the news. That's another quality of life change that will no longer happen, guys. So area effect damage, affect enemies that take damage from all enemies and stuff like that, abilities that do that kind of stuff, no longer will be, you know, ruining your game state. It will go through just fine. So wanted to point that out as well for you guys, and let's get into what we can do here. So I'm not looking to complete this. We're only looking at the first turn damage because that's just fine. I could go like 10 rounds of variants and stuff like that, but I mean, I really don't want to do that much. We're only here to compare the damages here, guys. You guys already know how variants can be and stuff like that, so we're not going to go too much into it, but I'm just going to show you that it's definitely here, 100% here. It'll be fine. Remember, guys, this is the Vivi version that does not have the two-handed weapon just yet. This is a one-handed weapon with TDH, so it's like you know, equipping a one-handed weapon on a physical TDH unit now. I know it's going to be very bizarre to think about it that way, but it's true. It's definitely true. To think of it that way, but it's a reality now. I'm gonna prove it. I might make a bigger video than this, doing like an actual trial, but I just wanted to show you. I just wanted to talk to you guys about this finally, because I've been so excited about this for so long, because I love mages and I want them to succeed, and finally we have some way of having them succeed. So this was a route where I was able to get my test run. So let's see the damage. That was weird. So that's around the damage there, 1 million or 1.1 billion. I mean, not million, 1.1 billion. That's fine. I'm not going to talk about how good that is, how bad that is. I'm only here to show the evidence of magic variants. So that's with a one-handed rod. Let's try two-handed. So yes, his magic got lowered. It's only 6,900, but this is a two-handed rod. You can look at this up on the wiki if you don't believe me for some reason. It's not letting me click on it, actually. That's weird. And this elemental, it has an element on it, but it doesn't matter for this situation. And none of these passives actually matter at all. Yeah, none of these passives actually matter, but we're using this because it's two-handed rod and it's what I have. So that being said, let's try it. I'm gonna do the same exact setup here. Alrighty. We got ourselves all set up like normal. I just sped ahead so that the video would not be as long. And now let's see what the two-handed weapon. I mean, that's clear as day. We did around, it was like you know, 78%, we got to 73%. I mean, it's clear as day, guys. I can't make that up. It's not like, oh, you know, it was only like 76% or, you know, 76% or something like that. That is so much more in terms of the long story of that. That's such a huge difference that you can't even like say like, oh, you know, maybe something happened or something. You can't even make that up. That's a huge percentage difference. That's a huge number. Look at how much damage we just did. And that could be on the lower end. This could be on the lower end as well. We could do way more than that. So there's no mistaking it. Magic variance is here, and it's here to stay. And mages are definitely going to be good now. Hopefully I can test out more in the future. I want to use Pone next, or Poppy. She is a TDH mage on the JP version. The new one. And I could also, I'm very close to getting Sakura, the new Sakura, to EX3 as well, so I could test her out as well, because her STMR is two-handed. So could do that in the very near future. She is only like days away from getting EX3, so I might make another video on that. But in the meantime, it's clear as day. Like, you can't make this up. You can't deny it at this point. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't deny it at this point. Magic variance is here, and it's going to be very significant. On the downside, you're going to have to fight over variance for mages now, but I think it's worth it because now mages can finally compete with physical damage dealers. I feel like they can. So prepare for that. No more one-handed rods in the future, please. And that's it. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys have any questions, or if you want any follow-ups to this, or you want anything more specific, comments down below. Peace.